Tracy Says, Tracy McElfresh here with fit and sewing tips in and around a minute. I have seen an insurgency of men wanting more fitted shirts and wanting to bring their shirts to me. So I have a few little tips that will help you determine how much and what to do. So the first thing I like to do is ask them if they have a shirt that they like that fits them perfectly, and have them bring in that shirt with their other shirt, and you can kind of judge the fit by that other shirt, holding the two up against each other and seeing what the differences are there. You can also do a fitting and have them try the shirt on and pin darts in the back. So just in case you're new here, I am Tracy McElfresh. I run a small studio inside of Rosewood Art Center where I do kind of light alterations, bridesmaids, mother of the brides, hemming, mending, nothing really big, anything I can just turn over quickly. Before that, I had a sewing shop in Dayton, Ohio called Sew Dayton with Jesse Anderson, where we taught lessons. I still teach. I teach here at Rosewood, just basic group classes, and I also make clothing for fun, and I design clothing. So that's just kind of my background. So let's start at the beginning. What is a dart? So you may be like, oh, darts, like what does that mean? So a dart is something that pulls the fabric in to give a 3D shape. So you would have usually darts on the center of your waist, and it pulls it in and gives a 3D shape around your bust. And the back, princess seams are darts. So you can put darts in things, and the best thing about putting darts into things is that if it needs more or less, you haven't cut or ruined anything. Everything is reversible, and down the line it can be changed. So people come to me with their jeans, and this is one of the most common fit problems. They fit everywhere except for the waist, especially with the new jeans that have elastic in them, elastane in them. They will stretch over time. So when they got the jeans, they fit, and after wearing them for a couple hours, they're too loose. And we fix that too by just putting two little darts in the back, and if weight fluctuates or anything changes, we can reverse it and fit it. Now we can only do it up to so much though, because if you're putting in a dart and you do a lot, let's say we want 2 inches at the top, and the dart leg, which is how long the dart is only a few inches, it's gonna leave a pucker wherever it's at. In this case, I have held his old shirt up and marked darts in the back of his shirt. And the dart is only gonna go up to a 1/2 inch at the smallest part of his waist. And I used his other shirt that fits him to find the smallest part of his waist. If I didn't have that other shirt, he would have had to try it on, and I would have had to pin it from the outside and then move my pins around to the inside. I like the idea of trying stuff on inside out, but you cannot get these shirts, Oxford shirts, buttoned inside out. So we'll have to move the pins. So what I've done here is I put 2 pins opposite of each other where the top of the dart starts. Where it needs to be the largest, that would be where his waistline is, and where I'm going to end has 2 darts. And then the rest of it is just pinned up. So I will start sewing at the top with tiny, tiny, tiny stitches, come down, and by the time I get to this middle, I marked on his paper that it needed to be not more than 1 inch of a dart. What happens when you start scooping way into the darts, when you flip it, you've got so much excess fabric right here that it needs to be clipped, and don't want to cut anything. So if I needed more than about 1.5 inches on each side, then I would have had to take some in on the sides as well. And that's kind of where it gets complicated, and you just have to test it, but this is a surefire method of not messing it up and fixing it if it's not right. And a lot of times men will want to bring you all their shirts. or women, and you can say, let's just start with one and see what you think before you go and do all of their shirts and have to rip your stitches back out. So I've already done this side, and from the back, you can't even tell. It looks great. I've pressed it. I like to press my darts in towards the center back. That's really preference for a lot of people will say different things. That's what my grandmother and my mother taught me, but I've heard much different. So everybody does what works for them, and you may have that way of what works for you. And then now I'm gonna go do the second side and give it a press and have him come back and try it. And if he likes it, we can move forward and do some of his other shirts. So that's it. Tracy McElfresh, Tracy's Sewing Studio here in Kettering, Ohio. I have some classes coming up. The hooded scarf class is my holiday edition, which is December 10th. If you're watching this and right now, that's next Tuesday. And then in February, I have a series of basics classes, sewing machine basics. That's where you need to start, learning to use your machine and get comfortable for that, and then move forward on easier projects. So also facilitate a large meetup group, the Dayton Garment Designer Meetups. We meet up quarterly. We have a meetup actually this Saturday here at Rosewood. All that information is on Facebook. Just look for the name Dayton Garment Designer Meetup. And if you're a real person and you answer the questions, I can approve you to be entered. We just have sewists. We don't have people looking for sewist in the group. It's a sewing group, not somebody looking for sewist. So that's it. Tracy McElfresh, thank you so much for asking or for watching. And if you have any questions, just list them in the comments. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.